Guys, I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about men and why don't men help each other. And I think we all look at things backwards, which is kind of what I've been talking about with reality and just like every concept in general. You got to look at it backwards. You got to look at, see, the thing is, everybody looks at, like, for example, I'm going to be talking about the patriarchy and how it's eating itself, right? And the reason why it's eating itself, well, first let's get to how do we get to the patriarchy. Everybody looks at it backwards. They go, man, men were in control. No, that logically doesn't even make sense. Logically, use logic. Let's turn our brains on. Doesn't make sense that men create a competitive environment for each other because men were always in control. Does that make sense to you? I'll tell you what makes sense. Every TV show you've ever seen with, that any TV show that you ever seen that's set in the 60s, earlier eras, women are competing against each other. They don't help each other. They bring each other down. Isn't that kind of a common theme? Why would women constantly berate each other and bring each other down and never help each other? Because they live in a patriarchy and they know they're competing with another woman to get that man who makes six figures. Correct? So, the real way it started, just like in nature, like you see in the pretty bird, the male bird tries to attract the female. And if he doesn't get the female, then his whole existence has failed. So, Native American tribes, African tribes, OG tribes are matriarchal. Native Americans, the women actually own the land. Their grandmothers had to sign off. Right? Shout out to Ross Ben, giving us that knowledge. Grandmothers had to sign off on who could get the land. Learn about Benjamin Franklin had to get, during the French Indian War, which is probably the most important war of all time, which we never learn about because why would we? It's one of the most important things. Benjamin Franklin had to go seduce the queen of the Lenape people, PA, to get them to sign off on getting some land. So if women were always in charge and they controlled the land and they controlled all these things, what did men have to do? They had to not, I don't know fucking you. I'm gonna do everything in my power to shit on that dude so then I can get my access to that land, to that woman, right? Shit on that dude. Fuck that guy. I don't know him. Could be my brother. I don't know him. You know what I mean? But I'm saying, you look at it backwards. And then we end up in the situation where men are in control. It's the same thing with, I have to, be, in case feds are watching and shut down my channel. Because I even just had Chainsaw Man. And I don't know what I said in the video, but, bro, it wouldn't upload yesterday. That video I uploaded wouldn't upload. You got to be careful everything you say nowadays. But there's a certain group of people who run the banks, right? That's the theory, right? But let me break it down to you. Just like the patriarchy. If you only say, because first of all, that whole thing is dumb. Poor people. It was like a slave thing to hold somebody's money. You got to look at it from a wealthy's perspective. A wealthy person's perspective. You're holding my money. You don't own my money. You're holding it and you're investing it for me because you aren't worth to do anything else. Like right now we look at it as a high tier job, but that's how the inverse of everything works, right? Lobster was looked at as a shitty food, and now it's looked at as high. It's how it works. Everything is inverted. Shout out to my friend. Everything is inverted. Everything you think is good is really bad, and vice versa. It's just how it works. Vice versa. But anyway, if you give a group of people and say your only job is to hold our money, and then they eventually run all the banks, well, what do you think is going to happen? And that doesn't mean they're evil. That was their job. Same thing with the patriarchy. If we're competing each other over and over and over for women. Eventually we're going to take over. It's the same thing that's happening right now. Women, I don't know if you guys read the statistics. Men are doing so bad and poorly. That's my bigger theory about, it's not a theory. I hate when I say theory. It's like all concrete and it's happening right in front of you. But if you can't see it, then you can't see it, and that's on you. But men are trying to be women so bad. Not only are we, men are transition. So the whole trans and everything, it's because we're transitioning. So it's inverse. Everything's inverted. We moved from the age of Aquarius or whatever, or, into different astrological ages. We transition to different belief systems, all sorts of things that, the people in control do. And they push the trans movement and the AI movement because it's supposed to be transitioning of spirituality, which is what they're doing. But we took it literally, physically, which is why physically, AI, and turning into women. But anyway, back to the statistics. If you look up the stats right now, women are graduating with more degrees and getting better jobs than men. And it's not even close. They're blowing us out of the fucking water. Why? Because the patriarchy is eating itself. There's this narrative that a man can just be like, let me go join the union. Bro, there's 80 people in that union. They're not fucking letting you in. You better literally, not to be like that, but you better literally suck that dude off. That's the only way you're getting in. Just facts, man. I'm telling you guys, it's real. You ain't getting in none of these places. You're not getting a job unless you know somebody. The patriarchy has closed itself off. And the only people they can let in are women. It's just how it's worked. It's just how the game is. So what people are doing now is, you go on Twitter and grifting and just anything. People are working out as hard as they can to become as pretty as they can so that they don't have to work. So that's kind of where we're at in the state of men. So, state of men, why don't we help each other out? Why don't we talk to each other? It stems from that. Why should I help you? And on top of that, men want to be the man at the end of the day. Why would I want to tell this guy all my plans? I want to just pop up and be like, yo, I did all these things. Fuck, look at me, I'm the man. That's how guys think. We're not going to give other guys help. It stems deeper than that. If we were always competing against each other, why am I going to help you? That's why that meme of what do men even talk about? Why don't men ask questions? Why don't men? We're thinking, we're plotting, we're scheming 24/7. Men are plotters, schemers 24/7. We are thinking about the next steps. We they don't even think, they don't even realize that who was honking? I don't know, was that me? But women always say oh, men aren't emotional. No, it's the way we process things is women, like I said, women are, they're the animators, they're real beings. Like I said, I've told you this many times. Women are from this universe, men are not from this universe. That's why we have to conquer it, because we are not from it. Women understand how the reality works and they bring life in because they're from this reality. You can only bring life in to this world if you're from the reality. We're not from the reality, so we don't even understand the reality, which is why we want to conquer it, and we have our minds constantly. A lot of women don't have this constant dialogue of boom, 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 plotting, scheming. They're step by step. That's why sometimes when you ask a woman, they're stuck on the first step of the problem. And then, that meme, when a guy tells you, when a girl wants to just vent and then the guy gives them a problem. Because the guys, this is what I'm trying to say about us. We are 10 steps. We're just trying to fucking figure out how to get to the fucking 10th step. How the fuck do I have all 10 steps planned and I don't know how to fucking get there. So then what comes out is nothing because I don't know what to say, right? You don't know what to say. That's why guys don't know what to say a lot of the time. We're trying to get to 50 steps ahead, but we don't even know how to do the first step. Women, since they're from the reality, they will take steps. They know what the steps look like. They just need to complain about them. There's the difference. Women know the steps. They just need to complain about it. They don't want to do it. Men, we're 50 steps ahead, and we're like, how the fuck does fucking shit work? This reality don't make no fucking sense. How do I get that? Does it all make sense? If there's anything I missed, let me know. But just the state of men, man. We are in for it. See you guys.